Hello and welcome to Baking on a Budget. Now this time we have how to make a pineapple upside down cake. This classic pineapple upside down cake, really beautiful, dead simple to make. I've got everything that we need to make it over here, and I'm going to go through, tell you exactly what the quantities are and how much all of this cost. We have 160 grams of self-raising flour at 8 pence. We have 160 ml of vegetable oil at 25 pence. We got 100 grams of sugar at 12 pence. We got 3 eggs at 42 pence. We got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract at 12 pence. We got 40 grams of light brown sugar at 14 pence. We got 60 grams of butter at 45 pence. And we've got a 432 gram tin of pineapple slices, which cost me £1.10. So the total cost of this delicious pineapple upside down cake is £2.68, and we're going to get 6 good slices out of that, making that 44 pence per slice. An absolutely beautiful cake, dead simple to make. Let's get to it. Okay, so to begin with, I'm going to be making this in this 8-inch or 21 centimeter springform cake tin. Any sort of tin would do, really, about the same size. Doesn't have to be the springform, but that's what I'm using today. And the first thing we want to do is get the butter and the light brown sugar into this pan, and what I'm going to do is heat this up and melt it together to make a glaze for the top of this. Whilst that's on the hob, just slowly melting down, what I'm going to do is drain these pineapples. I'm going to keep the juice. We'll use a little bit of this juice in the cake itself, actually. Right, they are drained. Now we want to get them out of there and get them on a bit of kitchen paper just to allow them to dry off a little. We don't want them too wet. Put this on top, pat them down, and just get any of the excess juice off there. Okay, and that has melted down. The sugar has melted into the butter. That's all looking very good. We'll just make sure that sugar is well combined there. That's looking good. Right, that's going into the bottom of the tin. Very good. And now on top of that, we are going to put these pineapples. These may be a little bit tight in this tin. Might have to squash them up a bit, but that's okay. And essentially I'm just arranging these around the tin. And we should get this one in as well if we just move them around a little, squash them down. That is looking good. Now that's going to sit in the fridge for about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, just to let this butter stiffen up again. And whilst that's happening, we'll get on making the batter for this. Okay, and to make the batter, we want the 3 eggs straight into the bowl. And there they are. All right, that's the 3 of them. We want the sugar. Now what we have here is 100 grams of sugar, and what we also have is 160 grams of vegetable oil. Now to that I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of this pineapple juice. That will be sufficient. And now I'm going to whisk all this together to a nice creamy consistency. There, a couple of minutes later, just fine. You could do that with a hand whisk if you wish, but I'm just using this today. As I say, what we have is 160 grams of self-raising flour. And to that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I think I might have missed the baking powder off the ingredients list, but I'm putting a teaspoon of baking powder in it. If you're using plain flour, you would maybe put 2.5 teaspoons in for that amount of flour. And to that, we are going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Or vanilla extract, that is, actually. Very good. Now, we want to bring this together, make this into a nice rich cake batter. We just want to keep going with this until we've got all of the major lumps out of there, and it's a nice smooth consistency. And that's about it there. What I find is sometimes when you put the dry ingredients into the wet, it does get quite lumpy. But what I found is if I just press that against the side of the bowl with the spatula, that will smooth out all of those lumps without beating the cake too much. Right, that's good to go. Okay, this has had its 10 minutes in the oven. Looking very good. That's set, you see. Just the batter is going to sit on top of that much easier once it's set a little. And that is set enough. So we have our batter, which we're just going to pour over the cake like this. Get it all out of the bowl. Now, this is going to sit in the oven at 170 degrees centigrade for about 30 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it after 25, try the skewer test, and once that comes out clean and the cake is nicely risen, good to go. Alright, and 30 minutes later, we have a beautiful sponge cake here. I've tested it a few times, as you can see, but that skewer's coming out nice and clean, all over the cake. That's beautifully done. Gonna have to let it cool down a bit before we flip it out of here. And just as a point, I did put this on a tray because I did notice there was a little bit of leakage of the butter through the springform tin. So if you're making one of these, it might be an idea to do it in like a solid tin. It works in the springform, but just a point. Radio, the cake has cooled. Very pleased with that. I'm just going to free it a little from the side here. Most of it's actually okay, but just in case there's any little pieces which have stuck. And there we go. Now we can take the spring form off, and then what we want to do is put a plate on the bottom of it, get hold of the bottom of the tin and turn it over. Now what I'm going to try to do is prise off this base, and underneath, look at that. That is one beautiful looking cake. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to take a slice out of that and I'm going to try some. Okay, let me show you this. Pineapple upside down cake, and I'm serving it with a little homemade vanilla ice cream. I'm sure this is going to be absolutely delicious. But the cake looks very nice. The sponge has risen, nice crumb on the sponge there. There's a nice glaze on top from the sugar and butter that we put the pineapples in to begin with. And the only thing left to do is to take a slice of that. That is an excellent pineapple taste. Very tangy sort of taste to it. But if I take a little piece more off there, the cake itself is beautiful. Marvellous. And just taste the pineapple in the cake itself. Put a couple of tablespoonfuls of the pineapple juice in there, and that really comes through. It really helps it. Followed by a little ice cream. Now that slice of cake there, and it is a substantial slice of cake, cost me 44 pence. With the ice cream, I think the ice cream came out about 11 pence a scoop. When I made that video, I don't recall, but something like that. I'll put a link for the ice cream in the video below if you would like to have the same taste experience as this, and I do recommend it. And a very simple cake to make. Comes together very easily. The sponge, as I say, is really simple to make and delicious. And with the pineapples with that glaze on top, scrumptious. So there it is, folks, a pineapple upside down cake, and this time served with a little vanilla ice cream. You could serve it hot with custard if you wish, that would be equally delicious. But a very simple cake to make. If you've enjoyed the video, if you've enjoyed watching this, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more very simple recipes, very inexpensive and always absolutely delicious, please do consider subscribing to the channel. In the meantime, I'm going to polish off the rest of this beautiful pineapple upside down cake. And I thank you very much for watching.